now with the Forerunner Chronicles, and right now we're in downtown Toronto on Yonge and Davenport, and as you can see, I'm in front of a Masonic temple, but that's not all it is. Check this out. That's right, as you can see, this Masonic temple is actually MTV Studio. MTV Studios actually bought this Masonic temple to shoot programming in there. And this is just additional information to help you understand everything that we've been talking about in the videos, how they actually try to tap into this occult power so that they can influence our minds with this media. That's what's going on right here behind us at this MTV Studio building, which is nothing more than a Masonic temple. Ladies and gentlemen, wake up. This thing is simple.
When they do the symbol, because a lot of in the media, I don't know if they're still doing that today in the land of the living, but I know what I experienced when I went down there. They call themselves elites, and what it means is the elites of like the satanic kingdom, and they do this thing with all-seeing eye. As you notice, you know, in the past I had that all-seeing eye too, because I had to become one of them in order to come back and expose them, you see. So this wickedness, and for a while they try to keep me silent, but I'm like, wait a minute, you know, Satan's a liar, because he just wants me to be silent, because we keep living in today's world, the land of the living, and there's no justice anywhere. Like, where's the God of justice, right? It's because I kept silent all these years, but I'm not gonna keep silent no more. But what goes on down there in Hollywood, I don't know if it's still going on today, because I don't want to accuse nobody, but what I saw, you know, I pray that everybody out there repents, because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. You know, and they have lots of sex, child trafficking rings, and they even have their own churches, but they're very satanic churches, and they do abominations. You know, they sodomize each other. I'm not going to get into details because it's so traumatizing to what I saw and experienced down there. But you know, the more power you have, the more fame you get, the more depraved things you have to do. So I don't know if they still do that today, like I said, but God our Father knows, God in heaven knows, the cloud of witnesses knows. So I pray, Heavenly Father, that if these things still go on out there, all over the world, all these elites, whatever they're trying to do like this, to be quiet, you know, that you will bring exposure to them and bring swift justice to the children's lives that were sacrificed, the children that are molested, because they often, you know, they were even like molesting 3-year-olds, and then they're asking me like, can we go even like lower, meaning like, can we have with a baby? And it was just so disgusting, guys. This is why I'm so traumatized, because like, oh, I can't believe, you know, it's very traumatizing. I can't even talk about it because it's so nasty. But you know, in the Illuminati world, Hollywood, if you're still doing that today, I pray that Lord Jesus Christ, Heavenly Father, that you apprehend these criminals and bring them to justice, the ones who sacrifice babies, rape children, even in the government realm, the government officials, you know. But I don't know about the land of the living, but I'm going to have to testify anyways, because this is what I saw. It's like this huge, massive, worldwide elites. They call themselves, and they molest children, they, you know, sacrifice. It's just nasty, guys. I can't even... But anyways, I gotta testify this so that there's truth and justice to be had in the land.
Megan
Yes,
Fox
drink each
is a
other's blood
demon.
might mislead people, or like people are imagining us with like goblets and we're like Game of Thrones drinking each other's blood. It's just a few drops, but yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes. It is used for a reason, and it is controlled, where it's like, let's shed a few drops of blood and each drink it. He's much more haphazard and hectic and chaotic, where he's willing to just like cut his chest open with broken glass and be like, take my soul, let me bleed on you. It doesn't not happen, let me tell you. Maybe not exactly like that, but a version of that has happened many times.
I love babies. Oh yeah, they love sucking puppies. It's crazy. I mean, I do too though, because I have an iron deficiency, so it just tastes good. Like, do you guys like the taste of blood? Do you? Does anyone here like the taste of blood? Because I like it. I like the taste of blood.
You tell us the secret about Steven Spielberg. He eats babies. Whole babies.
And that person happens to be a Hollywood mogul. And that person needs to be exposed, but unfortunately I can't be the one to do it. But the person that knows who did it and knows who he is watching right now, I guarantee you. There was a circle of older men that surrounded themselves.
My brother Jay-Z, Team Rock, Adam Blackstone, Hell's Kitchen, and Most High.
Good evening, godless sodomites. Kneel before your God, Babylon! Making me the highest paid, megalomaniacal boy king in all of Babylon!
You see, if you go and visit the very home of the Oscars, where they hold it each year, you can see a plaque on the wall that says the Babylonian Court. The camera shows you the stage, and you see an unmistakable Tower of Babel embedded into the design. Outside the Kodak Theater, you have the gates to Ishtar, and you have Babylonian gods put on the outside of the gates. They have the exact elephants. They have the same exact gate of Ishtar. They have the same exact Babylonian gods over the top of the gates.
People come up here and they thank Jesus for this award. I want you to know that no one had less to do with this award than Jesus.
I'm thankful to the Oscar God.
The other names that are all gods as far as the category concerned.
When you hit this little golden statue, you become a star. In the Egyptian culture, they also had a little statue that represented the god Ptah. And see, when an Egyptian king died, it was believed that his spirit went into the belt of Orion, and he then became a star. Up until 1999, the Oscars was held at a building called the Shrine, which was founded by William Florence and Walter Fleming, two high-ranking Scottish Rite Freemasons. Hollywood has long been interested in Freemasonry. Gene Autry, John Wayne, Nat King Cole, Duke Ellington, C.C. DeMille, Clark Gable, Walt Disney, Oliver Hardy, you name it, the list goes on. Many celebrities have come out and admitted their connection to Freemasonry. You can see the checkered floor, you can see the archways, you can see the sun motif in the background. All of these are letting you know exactly who owns this organization.
We are the first species on the face of this earth to be aware of evolution, to be aware that we are affecting our own evolution by everything that we do. The babies we eat, the food we eat, the wars we fight, the babies we eat.
People from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Roman Pharaoh. He's coming for it. He's coming for it. Talking of all you, it was a big year for our movies. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care. Many talented people of colour were snubbed in major categories. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood foreign press are all very, very racist. Fifth time, and it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself, just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care. I'm next to the star in Netflix's Bird Box, a movie where people survive by acting like they don't see a thing. Sort of like working class Harvey Weinstein. You did it, I didn't, you did it.
Served, so they were always trying to call for pizzas, and you can't order a pizza plate.
How was the pizza? Was it good? You make pizza was better than food. Everybody made it for a certain kind of thing.
There's no pizza if we didn't want something.
take him back at his house, watch a movie, and he'd order a load of pizzas, you know.
Gerald Ford is not a pedophile per se. He's what I refer to as trisexual. He'll try anything. Any age, anybody, anytime, anywhere, just as long as he had control. Because he had a perversion of power, in addition to his interest in mind control. Therefore, it was Gerald Ford who came out to our house and explained to my father how to raise me in the project according to government specifications. My father had been caught sending this child pornography through the U.S. mails, and therefore he was approached and told that if he sold me into that project, that he would gain immunity from prosecution. My father remains free from prosecution to date for so-called reasons of national security. Once my father agreed to sell me into the project, I was taken routinely to Mackinac Island, Michigan, which is a political retreat where the Michigan governor's mansion is located. It was a bohemian grove of sorts where politicians met and discussed New World Order controls, where they discussed mind control of the masses, mind control in the school systems, how to use occultism as a trauma base. One of my sexual abusers at that time was the Prime Minister of Canada, Pierre Trudeau. Pierre Trudeau is a professed Jesuit. Now, the Jesuits are an intelligence arm of the Catholic Church. Pierre Trudeau represented this criminal faction of the Catholic Church, of the Jesuits, who believed in mind control of the masses because they wanted to be the one world church in the New World Order.
Sure. We happen to have someone who sent us Monica Lewinsky's poem that she wrote in 9th grade. Actually, not in 9th grade, when she was a 9-year-old. And I know I'm going to rot in hell eternally for this, but can I maybe just give it a sample? Yeah, give a sample. Okay. It was written, the poem is a poignant rumination on how, quote, I can be a delicious lunch, dinner, or breakfast, if you're weird. She goes on to describe herself, quote, as a round and flat piece of dough with lots of toppings. I am a mouth's best friend. I make you say, yum, yum. It's amazing how kids know at a young age what they're going to do with that.
Christ did not die for Lucifer. He did not cover Lucifer. And there's a hatred for the offspring, enmity with God. There's a hatred that our sons and daughters could choose Jesus and be adopted back to the table which Lucifer once sat at.
I've returned. Doing the stream. Got a whole bunch of cool stuff lined up. Welcome back. If you're here from the gaming live stream, give a shout out in the chat. That'd be awesome. Also, drop a like. You have to drop a like. Maybe I should put that in the chat so people remember if they end up dropping in. Don't forget to drop a like. There you go, chat. You can have that. Let me start up my gameplay because I'm gonna chill, play some games. That is the wrong screen, as usual. There we go. I'm gonna take a swig of my water. Gotta stay hydrated, you know. Oh. I think my music's been a little bit too loud. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. See, the volume. Turn down to about there. I think that'll work. I gotta remember start hitting start record. Boom. There we go. All right. What's first on the agenda? Oh, that's the wrong thing. There we go. Might have to turn this up a bit. Let's see. Hopefully not. Cult of the Cry Bullies. Why people hate the left. I don't know, but I see Denims and Emeru. So I'm very, very interested in this one.
Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of What the Hell is Going On with your host, Ugly Belle Delphine. Now before you ask, yes, there is an Epstein Files video coming out. I feel like everyone has like streamer...
You know, honestly, I'd rather have Shoe on Head than Belle Delphine. At least I know that Shoe on Head is not that much of a freak.
Brain nowadays, and like every fucking video has to be breaking news in order to get the most views. But I am taking my time with it. I'm sure you understand there is a lot happening.
You know, with this anti-Semitic culture right now, she voted against a resolution condemning.
Is Jewish. I want to be clear. Do you want to go there, Attorney General? Do you want to go there? Are you serious? Talking about anti-Semitism to a woman who lost her grandfather in the Holocaust.
Dude, somebody just needs to get rid of Pam Bondi. I'm not looking forward to this.
Your country, sir. Anyway, let's just forget about these satanic billionaire pedophiles running the world, and let's talk about some internet drama, shall we? Because that...
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, it's been all over my feed for weeks. Before that, it was Minnesota. I just want to catch a break, man. I just need a little bit of a break. Just give me some good old-fashioned internet drama slop.
That is what's really important. For a little over a decade now, the most inane things can get you called a racist or a Nazi on the internet, to the point where these words hold little to no meaning anymore. It's so bad that when someone is called a racist or a Nazi online, I'm immediately like, oh, what funny joke did they tell?
Exactly.
But ladies and gentlemen, we have officially come to the point. We're not...
Oh, people are calling him a racist and a Nazi? I guess I'm gonna follow him and watch all of his live streams until I get bored.
Saying anything also makes you a racist Nazi. For the few of you watching this channel who are employed, there's a very popular Twitch streamer named Emeru. She's a cosplayer and just kind of a fun, chill, normie video game streamer. Well, the other day, someone in her chat asked her her opinion about...
I kind of like Emeru. I think she's kind of a moron. But I think you kind of have to be a famous woman Twitch streamer. You have to be pretty and you gotta be dumb.
Ice. And this is what she had to say.
Like, there's a certain extent where I'm like, okay, I get people wanting big content creators to, like, say their opinions on, like, important topics. I get that, right? But it's like, If you need a streamer who doesn't even know anything about politics to tell you about politics, you probably just need to get off the internet.
In a world where it seems like every single celebrity is just screaming their
She's not wrong, but she ended up breaking that stance and talking about politics anyway.
political takes completely unprompted, this was a refreshing thing to hear. Seems like a pretty sane, rational, inoffensive thing to say, right? Wrong. This short little clip where she ironically tried to avoid controversy ended up being one of the most controversial dramas this year. I feel like decades worth of news has happened in the past like
And it's such a non-issue, man. Like, nobody even cares. That's why I didn't talk about it very much. I made like 2 videos about it.
2 months, don't you? Every day there's like a breaking story of the most insane shit you've ever heard in your life. And everyone is expected to have a fully formed opinion on every single breaking story. There's pressure to react, to pick a side.
You know what my opinion is on everything? It all fucking sucks. I don't even give a shit. I'm just waiting for it all to just burn to the ground at this point.
To condemn, to defend, but the reality is when a story first breaks, we're usually not seeing the full picture. And that's why for years now, I have been using today's sponsor, Ground News. So let's quickly give them a shout out before we jump into today's video, shall we?
Did you find some
Ground
new
News
sponsors?
is a
I don't
website
even like
and an app
Ground News.
that lets you see how news stories are being covered all across the political spectrum, from left, right, and center. Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of political bias, ownership, and headlines that helps you understand the full story and really make sure you're getting both sides. They really make it fun and easy to compare headlines to see how political bias and media ownership can affect the framing of a story. For example, let's take a look at this one about how RFK admits he used to snort cocaine off toilet seats. If you look it up on Ground News, a right-wing headline covers it like this: RFK revealed why he wasn't scared of COVID. It was a legend.
I like it when my politicians can admit that they were degenerates. The other ones, we know they're degenerates, they just don't admit it. And people don't like it whenever they admit that their degeneracy. I don't get it. Everybody's a degenerate. You have to be at that level.
Legendary answer. And a left-wing outlet covers the same story like this: Robert F. Kennedy Jr. doesn't fear germs, and his reason is really, really gross. Same story, completely different vibes. The Ground News feature I like the most is the blind spot tool. It shows you how news stories have been covered by only one side of the political spectrum and ignored by the other. For example, here's a story about how Hillary Clinton says migration has gone too far. Rare Hillary Clinton W. Suspicious. 37 sources covered it, 91% of those sources were right-wing, and only 4% were left-wing. Interesting. Or this one about how middle-class Americans are selling plasma because of financial pressure. Americans are selling their blood because they're so poor. 71% of the sources that covered this were left-wing, and only
I won't be selling people anything that comes out of me at all, ever. Not happening.
14% were right-wing. I have been using Ground News for like 5 years now, and I am obsessed. It is one of
Unless that story about that dude making $1.4 million off of his testicles is true, I might look into that. That might be a little bit too much of an offer to pass up on.
The first apps I open when I wake up in the morning. It really helps me stay informed and helps me keep up with the news for my videos. But don't just take my word for it. Even the Nobel Peace Center recognized Ground News as an excellent way to stay informed, avoid echo chambers, and
How much would you sell your nuts for?
expand your worldview. Best of all, I am currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the plan I use to access all their amazing features. This comes to only like $5 a month, which is like the price of a cup of coffee nowadays. To get the 40% discount, just go to ground.news/shoe or use the QR code on screen right here, or click the link in the video description down below to subscribe to their Vantage plan today. Big thanks to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad as always.
Yeah, you're welcome. I didn't feel like it.
And now let's get back to the video. In this video, we are going to talk about the drama surrounding Emaru, the people trying to cancel her, the mistake the left is making by embracing cancel culture again. We're gonna read some insane, hilarious tweets, of course, and then we will talk about my personal experience with these people. And what—
Wait. The left's embracing cancel culture again? Weren't they just going on this whole tirade about Trump censoring free speech? Yeah, it doesn't matter. they're all just liars. They're all dishonest. They're just using anything that they possibly can to win. They don't actually care about anything. They're a bunch of weird, they're a bunch of freaks. They're narcissists. They're all of the things that they call us is actually all of the things they are, because they just do nothing but project. That's part of the mental illness.
What do I mean by these people? I mean the cult of the crybabies. I'm sorry if I sound even more like a prepubescent boy in this video. I am a little bit sick,
like,
but I am here, slaving over a
like iDubbbz and all the rest of the orbiters.
Hot laptop for you. If you guys saw my last video, you know I am quite critical of ICE. I don't think we should abolish them, of course, but I think it is good and healthy to criticize your government. I am a political...
Yeah, they definitely did not go about that whole operation like they should have. They should have had Holman at the forefront from the beginning.
Culture war commentator. I talk about political topics often. People come to me to hear my political opinions. But not everybody wants to be a political YouTuber or streamer. And not everybody wants to listen to a political YouTuber.
Actually, I come here to be entertained. That's the only reason I watch Shoe on Head or listen to Shoe on Head or whatever the fuck I'm doing. I'm watch listening. Because I'm halfway watching, halfway playing Terraria. That's how we do.
Or streamer. Sometimes we just want to have fun and talk about other things. There are lots of other things to talk about. Sometimes we want to look at funny memes or watch funny videos without having politics shoved down our throat. So a lot of people thought it was really refreshing when a cosplay streamer was basically like, I don't want to talk about politics. Why are you coming to me for politics? It was a perfectly sane, rational opinion. So of course, like, half the internet had a problem with it. It's just not that hard to say f ICE. It's really not that hard to say f ICE, to be honest. Is it so hard to just say f ICE? It's really not hard to say f ICE. Jesus Christ.
It's not as hard, or it's what? Oh, take two. It's way harder to say fuck ICE than it is to say fuck you. That's what I'd say. Just so I can actually get that fuck ICE in there. You can clip it if you want. You can clip it of me saying that if you really want to hear it that bad from my mouth.
Christ, how hard is it to just say f ICE? How hard is it to just say f ICE? How hard is it to just say f ICE and move on? Oh my god. Just say f ICE. It's not hard. Is it so hard to just say the line? Say the line. Say it! Jesus Christ, like at this point, even if Emeru did want to like
That's how it works in the dystopian sci-fi future. These people are the bots in the dystopian sci-fi stories. But they don't know that because they don't actually read. They don't watch movies or anything. They don't actually entertain themselves with anything that's not just completely degenerate.
Abolish ICE. Even if she really did think f ICE, she shouldn't say it. Like, I wouldn't say it at this point because this is just like, this is creepy. This is like a horde of zombies chasing after you. Hey, it's actually super easy to stream and
welcome to us being against the woke mind virus, because that's what it is. They are zombies. It's a woke mind virus. Finally, more people are coming around to it. It's been years at this point of people denying its existence. But it's straight up. It's like, it's not even really a disease. It's more like a derangement. Another D word. Delusion. Demonic. I don't know. These people are fucking possessed by a mass evil force.
And have opinions. I'll show you. F ICE, f Donald Trump and everyone in his administration, f Elon Musk, free Palestine, US is on stolen land built by stolen people, Luigi did nothing wrong, abortion is healthcare, leave trans people the f alone. These people literally just speak in bumper stickers, dude. Just like copy pasting the internet leftist starter pack.
They speak in Facebook status. That's what they speak in.
What the hell am I looking at? I hate the Reddit ass. Hey, it's super easy. It's crazy, like 1,000 years ago, this dude's ancestors were hunting mammoths. And now he's on here like, Men should not be speaking like this. I'm sorry. We need another war. The post that really seemed to kick this all off was
hey, we're about to go to war with Iran just in time, right?
Made by Denims, the self-described largest female political streamer. Only because I don't stream Denims. only because I don't stream. Anyway, I don't have any like personal beef with Denims.
true.
This isn't like an own Denims video. We used to be kind of cool years ago, but she apparently has some opinions on Emaru, so let's hear her out. Never thought I'd see the day we'd be fence sitting the modern Gestapo. First of all, she's not fence sitting. She's just choosing not to talk about politics. Like,
Well, we're about to see some Denims versus Shoe on Head, probably Hassan Piker versus Shoe on Head drama. I can't wait. I can't wait to see her get wrangled up in all of the slop.
In order to fence sit, you actually have to say something. She didn't even say anything. Like, how do you even know what her opinion is? Second of all, modern Gestapo.
Not saying your opinion is an opinion at this point. That makes you right wing, because if you don't want to say it, then we all know what you mean. If you're not gonna speak up about it, then we know what your stance is, then you don't care.
Why is everything the fucking Holocaust? It's totally normal to criticize ICE. It's totally understandable to have issues with the things they are doing. But modern Gestapo? Don't you guys get tired of this shit? Like, don't you guys get tired of saying, like, isn't this exhausting after a while? Everything is—
And they all say the same shit over and over again. They copy each other, and then, like, they act like they're owning us. All of us at the same time because they can copy each other. It's insane. Like, people think they're owning me because they're all saying the same shit about MAGA, and I'm like, I'm not even MAGA. I just don't like you.
Is Nazis, everything is the Holocaust, everyone is Hitler. It's like nothing else bad ever happened in history. Like, what did they used to compare bad things to before World War II? Oh my god, you're—
Well, actual bad things were happening to people, so they didn't have to LARP, so they didn't really talk about it, and they really didn't get to talk about it.
You're literally Napoleon. Also, I love this. Racist chud. Like, where did the racism part? Like, where did that come from? Listen, I don't get on camera.
It's one of the talking points. They gotta say all the words. They gotta hit the checklist.
And start talking about cars or math or taxes or investing or going outside or the plenty of other things I don't know about. I sit here and talk about the gender war and the culture war because I'm good at those things, and that's what people watch me for. That is my lane, and I stay in it. Emaru likes what she's doing. Her audience likes what she's doing. There are plenty of—
Which is just like a basic slop content. Like the other day she was looking at food and like talking about good food, and I'm like, who the fuck watches this garbage, man?
Channels that will regurgitate your political takes back to you. Just turn on the TV. Turn on CNN. Most people, most normal people, are sick and tired of celebrities just like spewing their political takes completely unprompted. I don't care what—
It's like terminally online people who just feel like they're hanging out with somebody. They're not even really being entertained by it.
But Glub Shitto thinks of politics, okay? Why does Glub Shitto have to get on stage and start talking about how we're on stolen land or some shit? Why do you need your political opinions thrown up into your mouth by a celebrity like a fucking baby bird? Like, do you really want Sydney Sweeney throwing up in your mouth? Don't answer that. Don't answer that. Please don't answer that.
She's right when she says most streamers are not qualified to talk about politics. Okay, here's the thing, dude. You actually don't have to be qualified to talk about politics to say ICE. It's not that hard of a concept.
You actually don't have to know what you're talking about in order to just say the line. What? You should look into a topic, do your own research, come to your own conclusion, and form your own opinion on the topic. You should not just—
My conclusion is fuck you, fuck them, fuck me, fuck everybody.
Blindly, mindlessly say the line.
You know who doesn't do political content? Cutie Cinderella. Cutie Cinderella literally never does political content. And even she's capable of saying f*** ICE. What about Cinna?
She does do political content. She does virtue signaling all the time. And that is inherently political.
You don't have to be a political creator to recognize that it's not hard to say f*** ICE.
You don't have to be a political content creator to—
No, that doesn't make you a political content creator. That just means that you're a dumbass content creator who got political for no reason other than to virtue signal.
Say the line. All your other friends are saying the line, Emaru. Why aren't you saying the line, Emaru?
ICE. Okay, but unironically though, f them. Straight up. Hey, f them.
It's literally just like a mob of people. Why aren't you— no tattoo? Why no tattoo?
yeah, it's f them, don't care, and if you don't like that I say that, it's f you too. You know what I mean? It's really that easy for me, I'm telling you right now.
There's Emeru's roommate saying the line. Aren't we all proud of her? By the way, where are all her friends during all of this? Where are all her morally righteous, good guy, big streamer friends while this is all going down? While she's being dragged by half of the internet for doing absolutely nothing wrong. This girl who literally just came out of an allegedly abusive relationship. This girl who literally just got assaulted, grabbed by some freak at a convention. Now this girl is...
Apparently she threw Tectone to the wayside. I don't know how true that is. But I think she like called him out, even though he didn't actually do anything wrong.
Going through all of this. I guess it's fine to be silent when your friend is getting dragged by half of the internet, but don't you dare stay silent about current thing. I don't even know this woman, and I'm sticking my neck out for her because it pisses me off seeing this kind of shit happen to people who absolutely do not deserve it.
If you're above the age of 18, you should care about politics in your fucking country. You don't get to be like, well, I don't agree with this whole taxes thing, so I'm just not gonna pay for it. You can't say like, well, I'm just not gonna care about all this politics stuff.
When someone doesn't have an opinion on a political topic, people like you might get...
I really hope Shuon Head goes over the fact that Emeru did come out and get political, and she broke to the pressure. Oh man, I'd be so sad if Shuon Head did that. Didn't do that. Whatever.
When someone doesn't pay their taxes, the government comes and arrests them. Okay, so that's the difference between those things.
There's this weird idea in America especially where like you can just be an adult and be like, oh, I don't care about politics. What?
Many people...
I care about politics, I just hate them. I think everybody who involves themselves with it is fucking stupid. And yeah, I know, I involve myself with it too. Point proven.
Most people do not care that much about politics. I know to you and me that's like mind-blowing, that's like unfathomable because our whole life is politics, our job is politics, like I get it. But most people's lives do not revolve around politics. They do other things other than fight with strangers online. Crazy, I know. But man, do I envy them. I was so much happier before...
Oh, wait, did she say you and me like she's aware that most of the people who watch her are just like reaction content?
I knew. Sadly, it is getting harder and harder for the average person to not care about politics because politics is seeping into literally everything. Politics will be bending you over and spreading your cheeks and going...
We're gonna be focusing hard on gambling soon, and so we're gonna get politics and gambling at the same time. That's gonna be nuts.
And dry whether you want it or not. And unfortunately, the people who are like, I just want to be left alone, are the people who are the most fucked by politics. Also, more importantly, Emeru wasn't saying that she doesn't care about politics. She was saying she didn't want to talk about politics. I feel like that is a huge difference. I care a lot about like skincare, but I don't get on here and talk about like peptides and collagen to my audience because they don't give a shit. They're here to watch me say feminism is doo-doo and make silly little faces at the camera. Yeah, you like that shit?
I hate when grown women don't have a mind of their own. You are 28 years old, please develop a mind of your own. All she does is pander to anime gooner men. No mind of her own. I never liked Emeru, so finding out she's stupid and doesn't have a mind of her own is nice.
I agree that she kind of doesn't have a mind of her own. She tries, but she also is kind of halfway one of the dumbass leftists because a bunch of her friends are. I think she is the smartest of the bunch of the dumbass leftist streamers.
Audacity! If she didn't have a mind of her own, she would have mindlessly parroted the shit you want her to say. She would have mindlessly just been like, fuck ICE. If Emeru came out and was like, actually, I think ICE is doing a fine job.
She's got half of a mind of her own because, obviously, she came out against ICE.
Think they'd be like, ah yes, she has a mind of her own. No, absolutely not. They are not angry that she doesn't have an opinion. They are angry that she doesn't have their opinion. The absolute audacity to say that this woman doesn't have a mind of her own while thousands of you people swarm her like drones, barking orders at her to say the line. You guys literally operate like the fucking Borg.
So what I'm gathering is that Emeru is a grown woman who acts like a frail, silly little girl to entertain fat, dirty, incel, Asian fetisher weirdos, and is okay with that, but draws the line at saying ice is bad?
Is that Casey Tron? I think that's Casey Tron.
Emeru and Asmon's audience are the same. Incels love Emeru because she confirms the image of the anime bimbos.
The reason I say that is because I think I've seen that tweet. I think that was literally Casey Tron, and Siobhan had covered it up. Redacted.
Stereotype that incels worship. She definitely cultivated an audience who, in the end of all things, are reactionary. She appeals to violent racists who fetishize Asian women.
What the fuck is this Asian fetish thing? Are they just saying this because she's fucking Asian? Like, I'm
Yes.
trying to find a clip of Emeru saying sucky sucky
They're
$5.
they're
or something,
racist.
but just it doesn't exist. I don't know what to tell you, man.
It's not a coincidence that she answered the question this way, and that her fan base consists heavily on Asian fetishes.
I don't know where this is coming from. And this woman, the woman saying this is literally an OnlyFans, like an Asian OnlyFans.
They're focused on race. Their entire life is focused on race and sex, gender, all of that weird stuff. So that's all they think about. That's all they see. They're actually racist. They're actually sexist. They're all of the things that they call us.
OnlyFans model. Like, I'm sorry, are you really the person to be talking about fetishization here? The most insane part of all of this had to be when her ex-boyfriend, her allegedly abusive ex-boyfriend, posted his own ice in the middle of his ex-girlfriend being canceled for not saying that. Like, how fucking petty do you have to be to subtweet your ex like that? Another character involved in all this is former booby streamer Casey Tron.
It reminds me of whenever Amarath started wearing
Oh,
a
maybe.
cowboy hat,
Okay.
because that's
Maybe she wasn't covering up Casey Tron, and I was just wrong about that tweet. Maybe I saw that tweet on a Casey Tron tweet or something. Something to do with Casey Tron. I don't know. I follow Casey Tron, so I see a lot of her shit. She's like the only I kind of like Casey Tron. I kind of like engaging with her. She's kind of dumb, but she hasn't blocked me yet, so
whenever she started going like full Nazi, basically. She started wearing the cowboy hat. It's like whenever these Texas girls in like these Austin, Texas streamer circles start wearing cowboy hats, that's whenever you gotta watch out.
A woman in
I think my cowboy hat's cooler than her cowboy hat.
Texas wearing a cowboy hat? Lord, take me out. Take me out back behind the shed. Put me out of my misery if I ever become this politically brain rotted. Holy shit.
Like, you know that she probably has like weird
And she don't even really care, but she's making herself care. She's like getting all up in her feels about it.
incels donating her
She wants to be
hundreds of
emotional.
dollars.
She's addicted to the emotion because it gets motion in her chat, which really there's not much motion in her chat. There's only like 5 real people in there, and I think the rest are just comment bots.
Because, like, in my opinion, like, it's all a facade to appeal to the worst type of men. Because, like, really misogynistic, shitty incel-like men, they like a woman that doesn't have any opinions. I think that she also plays into how a lot of incels will fetishize Asian women. Her whole platform is just, like, appealing to, like, the worst.
They all say the same thing. They all parrot the same thing, and it's totally fucking racist. But they don't see it because they're all collectively retarded.
Fucking men. She's like basically like she's like a pick-me for like incel freaks.
So this fucking pick-me shit, dude, it's gonna be the death of me. Before making this video, I watched a bunch of Emeru stuff, and I saw no signs of like pick-me behavior at all. At least with some streamers or some YouTubers. People could be like, oh, they criticize women.
Emeru's content is what I like to call bore slop. Because it's kind of just boring. It's like a boring hangout.
So they're trying to be like one of the good ones, and they're a pick-me. Like, okay, sure, like, that's retarded. We all know that's retarded. But at least I can, like, kind of see how is Emeru a pick-me? She doesn't even do that shit. Like, where is the pick-me thing coming from? No, really, though, what makes her a pick-me and not the booby streamer or OnlyFans models calling her a pick-me? You are literally selling your body for men to...
Yep. Projection.
consume. If men do not pick pictures of your ass, you can't pay rent. There's no bigger pick-me on earth than a fucking porn star. And me. I don't care about being called a pick-me. I've been doing this for over a decade now. I'm used to it. I've been called it thousands of times. I'm a 35-year-old married mother. I do not give a shit. I do care, however, when other women are called pick-me for the crime of not following a hive mind. I see it so often in like the VTuber community. Like all these VTuber anime women will be called pick-me's for just saying their opinions. You have to understand, like, to these people, whenever a woman has like an opinion that is not like the corporate HR approved opinion of the week.
Wait a minute. I just realized something. Chew on Head's 35. She can run for president. Chew on Head for president.
Whenever a woman doesn't toe the line of the current thing, in this case, whenever a woman doesn't say anything, she's called a pick-me. You know, she just must have these opinions for men. No other reason. Every woman is secretly a big, progressive feminist. And if they're not, they're just doing it for male attention. Because I'm sure someone who looks like this is really starving for male attention.
And then in my opinion, it's like she's not entertaining whatsoever. She's like, I would literally rather
She's
watch
not wrong
paint
about
dry.
that.
So true, because you know what is far more entertaining than a cute, high-energy cosplay streamer reacting to memes? This is way more entertaining. And if you don't agree, you're just like an incel. No.
Also not wrong. That is all that Casey Tron's content actually is.
Okay, bitch. Eventually, after a few days of being dogpiled by the most annoying people on Earth, Emaru came out with a statement.
Hello, it's very rare I will speak my mind, but I'd rather get my thoughts out there, so apologies if this is long. There's a clip from my stream that's been circulating a lot, so I'd like to explain it for anyone who was hurt or shocked by it. It should go without saying that no one deserves to live their life in fear of being killed or taken away from their homes or families, regardless of who is doing it, but especially not because of ICE or any other government agency. I understand the world is a very cruel and messed up place. You don't have to study politics or actively read the news to know that. I would never want to invalidate anyone who struggles with those things, and an agency causing fear and suffering deserves zero support. To me, that's not even political, it's basic human empathy.
Now, I thought that statement was perfectly
Empathy.
fine. My issue with it is, she didn't have to make it. She was basically forced to come out and say her opinion. So did these
Yep, she's weak. She shouldn't have said anything. She should have held strong. Man, I bet a bunch of her friends were upset at her, and she didn't want to, like, lose her friends over this because they are pieces of shit and would totally just cut you off because of something like that. And, like, you don't need people around you like that, man. It's so fucked.
freaks finally back off once Emaru made her opinion about ICE clear? No. Of course not.
Nazi response. TLDR, go f yourself in your PR apology. And there it is. Of fucking course she's another dumb c***. Girl, we are not as dumb as you look. You're still a racist chud, but continue to enjoy the money you get from your incel audience.
Yeah, she should have never said anything because it's never enough. It doesn't actually work. That's not actually what they want. They just want to hate you because you're prettier than them.
Because they're disgusting, just like you. All I hear is, I support Israel and my name is Emaru. Wait, what? Where the f did Israel come from? What? I don't like to talk about politics equals
It's on the
I'm a
checklist.
Nazi and I'm ashamed of my opinions. Everyone knows what's up. She's a fascist in disguise and is squirming. Emaru, you are garbage Nazi-loving c***. You got orange
Ooh,
around
more
your
for the
mouth.
checklist.
Say F you, Asmongold. If you're neutral, oh wait, if you're neutral, you might as well say you're MAGA. Stand for something, ho. That's what Trump wants, for everyone to be quiet about it. The idea of get off the internet is so fucking ignorant, this dumb cunt needs to shut her fucking mouth. Thank God her downfall is happening. I've been hating on her since day one and knew something was off about her. Not a good statement. She implicitly disavowed ICE, but not so much the actual Trump admin. Yeah, you just—
Dude, everybody is an expert. Either they're an expert or they're just a complete hater.
about ICE, but what about the whole Trump administration? They're like literally the mouse from If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. I was like reading that book to my toddler the other day and I was like, oh my god, this is literally Twitter. You cannot give them an inch, dude.
Of course are incel fans swooping in to protect the poor little 28-year-old.
Ah yes, incels. Known for defending women online. What? What the f does the word incel even mean anymore? Does it just mean man now? It just means man.
Yes.
Man I do not like.
I had no
Yep.
idea this was a thing until yesterday. How come no one told me Emaru low-key a femcel?
Femcel! Emaru's a femcel! Oh my do people just not know what—
No, they don't. They just use words because everybody else uses them. And it's a good insult, I guess, because it sounds insulting. They don't really know what it means. They kind of just mean, like, not us. One of them. You know what I mean? Because obviously Emaru gets laid.
what words mean anymore? How are they coming to these conclusions?
I mean, have you looked at her? I mean, look at her. Look at her. Just look at her. Look at her.
Yeah, look at her. That's the problem. She's pretty. And they're ugly. And even if they are, in quotes, pretty, they think themselves not pretty. So they get mad at Emaru because she is pretty, because they think that she is pretty. That's how it works. I've seen enough movies about girls growing up that I know how girls work. Because that's like every woman, every girl into womanhood movie is about that.
Yeah, sorry, I don't see it. I think you guys just might be mentally ill.
We need to
Yep.
do something about these male-centered women.
Okay, first of all, nothing is more male-centered than centering your life around hating men. Men just live rent-free in your fucking head. Take it up with God, go to therapy, do literally anything else than make it our problem.
Fuck her, and especially fuck her bestie Asmongold. I hope they get kirked. 30-year-old woman too scared to say fuck ice to keep her incel audience happy. Let's hope she gets abused again. Couldn't happen to a better person. Next time this cunt is assaulted, I'm gonna laugh and laugh. Fuck her and fuck ice and fuck you if you support this cunt. Emaru deserved what Mizkif did to her. Fuck Emaru for supporting ice. I
Wow.
genuinely hope this bitch gets oh, okay. I reported that one.
Yeah, okay. Yep, I get it. These people are fucking insane. I'm... Like, this is why everything is burning down. Is because of people like this.
Holy shit. What is wrong with these people?
See, you don't understand. I'm good guy, which makes it okay for me to say fucked up things about bad guy. You think saying that to someone is fucked up? Well, you should be abused too, because you're probably also bad guy. It's called being on the right side of history, Chud. Look it up.
Nazis deserve death, and silence is compliance.
May I just remind the audience that this is what she said.
If you need a streamer who doesn't
So they're literally taking the Nazi talking points, but replacing all the groups that the Nazis hated, and just using the word Nazi there in its place. It's literally just the same thing, though. But they're masking it like it isn't by saying that Nazis are the enemy. But they are actually the Nazis.
even know anything about politics to tell you about politics, you probably just need to get off the internet.
Ladies and gentlemen, a Nazi that deserves death. What?
After making her terrible statement full of lies, Emaru decided to follow right-wing grifter Shoe on Head. Of course Emaru is now following a fellow pathetic pick.
Shoe on Head, right-wing grifter. Okay.
Me for being quiet about ICE. They both don't want to piss off their 100% right-wing Gooner fan base.
For the record, my fan base is probably like 70% right-wing and 80% Gooner. Okay, but for some reason, they didn't mind when I came out and harshly criticized ICE in my last video. Yes, some disagreed, but for the most part, they didn't care. As long as you aren't preaching from an ivory tower with no nuance, rhyme, or reason, people don't care. I'll say some shit like, we should decommodify housing, and the right-wingers in my audience are just like, okay, commie mommy. These people cannot fathom a universe where people just disagree. Oh, you're just scared. You don't want to upset your chud audience. I upset my chud audience every goddamn day. You're the ones terrified of your own fucking cult. God forbid you only agree with 99.
I'm pretty sure she said some shit that I completely disagreed with in the last video. And here we are. Reacted to her again, making jokes like nothing happened. Because she's not insane. And I'm fine with disagreeing with people as long as they're not fucking insane. Like, once you start calling for violence or pretending that things are happening that aren't happening, you know what I mean? Like, as soon as you start getting the reverse mindset of what's actually going on in the world, or what's going on in front of your fucking face, like, that's when I just can't. I'm out.
99% of the hive mind approved opinions. God have mercy on your soul. I do not envy you. Once you bend the knee to these people, once you apologize or capitulate, it's over. These people don't actually want an apology. They want to humiliate you. They want to drag you down. At the end of the day, they have found a socially acceptable way to bully people. That's what this.
And once they've done that, once they've done everything that they could possibly do with you, they'd rather just have you dead. Or just have you in a place where they don't have to think about you anymore.
A lot of people in response,
Which would probably be starving in a hole. And then probably dead.
to Emeru's statement were like, why did you apologize to the mob? You know, you bent the knee, you're a coward. And honestly, people don't realize how insane it can get. These people, the cult of the cry bully, they come in swarms, they get in your head, they prey on your empathy, they isolate you from your friends, they make you feel like a terrible person for having milquetoast normal ass opinions, or in this case, no opinion. And when you are someone who is not used to dealing with these types of people, or you are someone in like a vulnerable state of mind, it is very easy for these cult-like tactics to work. This shit works especially well with women in particular, not to be sexist, but it's just true. Honestly, you know, now that I think about it, the only people who are immune to this are like autistic people. I swear to God, people on the spectrum are immune to the cry bully tactics. What happened is Emeru just saw like a shit ton of people who were mad at her, and she wanted—
Does that say something about me? I took an autism test. It told me that I didn't have autism, but I probably had ADHD. I think it was right. I've never been diagnosed, so I'm not going to self-diagnose. But, you know, take that as you will.
wanted to do the correct thing. Unfortunately, this is just going to make it worse. And they're moving on to one of their favorite tactics.
The big question in everyone's mind is, well, are you still friends with Asmongold?
While it is appreciated that you are taking a stand and clarifying the clip, you do continue to be vague about how deep your associations with Asmon are. So hopefully you've cut ties with that hate-mongering
Man, they really just, when they decide they don't like somebody, they just don't like them. Eventually, people are gonna figure out what you're doing here. That you're just, like, deciding you don't like people. And not liking them and not having anything to do with them or anybody who has anything to do with them. And it's gonna keep growing like that until you're just gonna be alone. You're gonna be in your own little dumbass bubble with other dumbasses making no money because you don't actually consume any of the products that you advertise. You can have
Nazi troll Asmon, right? Glad you made this and owned up to it, but you're still friends with Asmongold, so it doesn't read as earnest. Almost a decent explanation, but the elephant in the room is that your friendship with
Asmongold isn't even the person they think that he is. If they hung out with Asmongold in real life, if they could keep themselves from crashing out, they'd probably, you know, they'd just be like, oh, well, he's a normal dude, but they can't even get to that point. Because that would be wrong. That would be a crime against humanity.
With Asmongold is holding this back from seeming sincere. Okay, now what about your best friend Asmongold? Denounce Asmon or I'm not taking this seriously. You're friends with Assmold. Assmold?
I'm pretty sure she's still friends with Asmongold.
Now, whatever you think of Asmongold, he is friends with Emeru. They are friends, even though they disagree with each other. Crazy, right?
I literally said, like, I don't agree with the things he says. Like, what do y'all want me to do? Like, fucking shoot him on stream?
Yes, that is what they want you to do. Yes. Around 2018, I was facing nearly daily harassment for being friends with someone who was on the right. Hundreds of people were on my ass like every day. They were calling my job. They got emails of my family members. It was like non-stop. Now, this person was a good friend of mine, but in order to get all these people off my back, I did probably the cringiest thing ever, and I publicly disavowed her. Publicly disavowed a friend of mine over political differences. Now, for those of you who are new here, that sounds like something I would never do, but
Yeah, that's just fucking retarded. I would never do that shit.
But I did it. I bent the knee to a faceless mob of people who hate me. And in return, I received nothing. The harassment didn't stop, the hate didn't stop. Well, needless to say, karma is real, and the same thing happened to me years later. I was publicly disavowed by friends over political differences. This story ultimately does have a good ending. Me and my friend from 2018
we made up years ago. But looking back on all this in 2026 is extremely embarrassing. And if I knew what I knew now, I would have just told those people to go fuck themselves. But in the moment, it's incredibly stressful and you just kind of want it all to stop. And you will do whatever you can to make it stop. So I understand why Emeru came out and made a statement. I just really hope she doesn't wind up disavowing Friends over political differences like I did.
I think Friends were willing to disavow her and she was afraid of that. And that's why she came out and said what she said. I don't think it was the fact that she's willing to disavow Friends. I think it was the other way around. And she really likes to keep her friends. She doesn't want to end up like Asmongold or Tectone or Nux, where they just can't collab with anybody but each other. Eventually that circle is going to keep growing though, because it is growing. It's growing and growing and growing all the time.
It was a huge mistake and it is not worth it, because you are going to find yourself surrounded by people who see you as a temporary ally and not a real friend. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a never apologize person. You should apologize if you actually do something wrong, if you actually wronged someone, but you shouldn't apologize to like a nebulous, faceless mob of people while facing down a barrel of a gun.
There is nothing that she could say and no amount of money she could donate that could convince me she's not a soulless ghoul like all the men she's happily surrounded herself with for years.
There is nothing you can ever do to please these people, so why?
Whoever said that would love to surround themselves with rich streamer men. They're just jealous.
Bother. They will not be happy until you kill yourself, and even then they will dance on your grave. And I know, like, with everything going on right now, like, is this really a video about cancel culture in 2026? And it's like, yeah, I don't know. First of all, you should expect that. You clicked on a shoe on a head video. But second of all, yeah, I feel like this is kind of important to talk about. I feel like this type of thing is part of the reason we are where we are right now. This type of stuff drives people away from the left. And more importantly than that, it's just evil. I saw some leftists covering Emeru being canceled, and they were like, the cultural shift is here. Woke 2.0, we don't play around, we're mean now.
I've never seen any like actual lefties be recommended to me on any platform. I don't know what kind of videos they make. I don't know how are they even, is there any lefties that are actually popular? I mean, I guess Secular Talk, but he's losing his audience pretty quickly.
Woke 2.0? Because Woke 1.0 worked out so well for you guys in the country, right? You're supposed to learn from your mistakes, not double down and get worse. I don't know how you can look at the last 10 years and be like, we have got to get more annoying. Like, what are you doing? Attacking normie streamers for not wanting to be involved in political discourse? Also, I feel like this goes without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm not smearing, like, the left as a whole, okay? This isn't fucking Fox News.
I'm smearing the left as a whole, and I'm smearing the right as a whole. I just usually end up smearing more of the left because the left is absolutely retarded. The right is retarded the other way, where they just don't do anything and they're just like drooling retards licking windows.
This isn't the Nuxanor channel. I'm well aware there are plenty of left-wing people, especially in my audience, who feel the same way I do. I'm talking about a certain faction of the mostly online left. I was about to say it's like a loud minority, but I don't even think it's a minority anymore. I think it's like a majority. Like, I feel like I'm one of the only ones like holding down the fort. Like me and Anna Kasparian. And every day I'm called a right-wing grifter for being like, hey, maybe we can focus on the issues that like actually affect the working class. You know, things that actually help people, not stupid fucking shit like going after e-girl cosplay streamers. Like, can we just get back to the fact that we are all being ruled by satanic billionaire pedophiles who may or may not be?
No, nope, let's not. I'd rather not talk about. We can get back to it in like 2 days. Just give me 2 days, then we can start talking about it again. I just need a little break. I'm losing my fucking mind talking about it every day.
Eating children, please? Thank you. In conclusion, Emeru did nothing wrong. People are tired of having politics shoved down their throat.
She did do something wrong. She talked about politics. She broke to the woke mob, and then it just got worse, and she shouldn't have done that. But, oh well. She didn't know, I guess. Now she knows. Don't fucking say anything. Asmongold says it all the time. Don't fucking say anything.
And you don't need to speak about things you don't want to speak about. You don't have to do that. You don't have to say the line, actually. This is mass psychosis, rivaling on 2020. These people are trying to socially ostracize this woman for not putting like a black square on her Instagram. They're just mad at Emaru for not doing like the ice bucket challenge or some shit. Like that's basically what is happening here. If you are going to streamers for political information, you are cooked. If you are going to Shoe Head for political information, you are deep fried. So that was that little video. If you liked my yapping,
That's what I'm saying, man. I come here to be entertained. Like, I get my political information from nowhere because I don't care about politics. Fuck politics. I'm an anarchist. Whatever we can do to have the least amount of government and be as free as possible is the greatest thing in my utopia. I want my utopia to happen, you know? I don't care what everybody else does. You can have your own utopias. I just want a government that'll allow me to have my group of anarchists of like 30 people, and everyone else can do whatever the fuck. Just leave me alone. I want to bring people in. People want to leave, they can leave. Whatever, man. We don't use the C word.
please subscribe, and if you can, donate to my Patreon down below. It really helps the channel out, and I appreciate it so much. And I will see you guys very soon with a new video. Bye!
Yep, in about a month. Seems to be every single month we get a Shoe on Head video. Sometimes more, sometimes less. I don't know what any of this is. Oh boy. 4 kids went missing.
4 different children went...
Oh, buddy. Okay. 4 kids went missing because they met strangers on Roblox. When? When did that happen? Because if it was recent, I think that the parents should be locked up at this point. Like, don't let your kids play Roblox. Especially don't get to a position where your kids could be kidnapped because of Roblox.
4 different children went missing within the span of just a few weeks in January of 2026, with every story potentially pointing back to the same thing. They met strangers on Roblox. And while 3 of these children were eventually found safe, the 4th and most recent case is still unresolved, which is the main reason I'm making this video, in the hope that more information gets out there so these cases receive more attention. And with that being said, I'll lay out everything that's publicly available in case anyone has any details, no matter how small they may seem, that could actually help move things forward. And I'll make sure the appropriate contact information is both on screen and down in the description down below. But the first story that grabbed national attention started on a Monday morning in Southwest Philadelphia. Jamez Cartwright, who is 18 years old, walked out of his house around 7 in the morning on January 12th, supposedly heading to Hardy Williams High School like he did every other weekday. Except this time, he never showed up. His mom figured something was off when the school day had ended and she hadn't heard from him. And when she reached out to the school, they confirmed that he never made it to class that day. So that's when she filed a missing person report, and things started getting really weird. So the next day, roughly 24 hours after he disappeared, his friends managed to track his phone through the iCloud, and his location pinged in San Diego, California. Yes, the teenager was just in Philly, but now the next day it's pinging in California. Well, that's not on the way to school. That's on the other side of the country.
That happened very, very quickly. I wonder how that happened. Was it an international cabal?
This guy left for school, then crossed the whole map. But here's the part that makes even less sense, because Jamez didn't have any form of ID on him. He had no money or income, and according to his family, he had never traveled outside of Philadelphia in his entire life. So how did an 18-year-old with no resources somehow end up across the country in less than a day? Well, the most plausible way would have been by plane. But again, he had no ID. But the Black and Missing Foundation, which is a nonprofit that specifically focuses on finding missing people of color, got involved pretty quickly, and they mentioned that the evidence was pointing towards that Jamez potentially was in contact with an older person through Roblox. Now, it is worth mentioning here that even though that Jamez is
an older person with a plane or a helicopter or a train or something,
is 18 years old, he's still a high schooler, and his family has stated that he has an intellectual disability, which meant that he could be more vulnerable to someone trying to manipulate or take it.
Well, then what the fuck was he doing on Roblox? What are you doing? That's the most retarded shit I've ever heard.
advantage of him online. But the foundation suggests that he might have been lured through a platform, but at that point, nobody had actually confirmed that. It was simply the most likely explanation based on the evidence they had. So, I mean, my question then is, did they somehow sneak him onto some sort of like cargo plane, or did they sneak him onto like a private chartered plane? Like, how did they get him to California within one day? And then the other thing is like, why would his phone still be on him if this was a kidnapping? This one's really confusing. But for at least 3 days, Jamas's family and community members were scrambling to piece together where he might be and who he could be with, as the weight of the situation really set in. Then, around January 16th and 17th, the family announced that Jamas had actually been found in California, and that most importantly, he was safe. His mom put out a statement thanking everyone who helped search for him, and also mentioned that they were still working with the police to understand what went down during his disappearance. So currently, there's a lot of unanswered questions right there. But while Jamas's story is unfolding, something uncanny similar was happening thousands of miles away in Mexico. Because on January 9th, 3 days before Jamas disappeared...
Okay, well, Mexico, that's not America. Sucks that it happened, but, like, Mexico kind of fucking sucks.
Two sisters named Sabrine and Mary walked out of their house in Neza, state of Mexico, and never came back. Sabrine was 10 years old, while Mary was 16, and based on security camera footage from neighbors, they left early in the morning, carrying backpacks with clothes, their cell phones, and their savings and cash. When their parents realized they were gone and tried calling them, both of their phones were turned off, which immediately set off the alarm bells. The family then reported them missing, and during the investigation, one detail kept coming up. Both girls had been spending a whole bunch of time playing online games, specifically Roblox and Free Fire. I hadn't heard about Free Fire until now, but it's kind of like a PUBG knockoff that's very popular amongst kids in South America.
Never heard of it.
Assumed they'd been playing with friends or people they knew, but authorities started digging deeper, and they started looking into whether someone they met online convinced them to leave. But on top of that, there was apparently some family drama right before they disappeared. So one day earlier, Mary had gotten a tattoo on her leg, and that's when her parents found out. They had a conversation about it.
Yep. Seems like a degenerate teenager raised by parents who had no fucking clue how to control that teenager, and just probably kind of let the teenager do whatever they wanted if it wasn't, you know, inherently bad in their eyes at that time.
And suddenly,
completely
she was
fucked
gone the
them
next
up.
day. But the parents insisted that it wasn't like a huge blow up or anything. According to Mary's mom, she told her daughter not to worry and just come home, trying to make it clear that she wasn't in trouble. But obviously, when two kids disappeared the next day, people start trying to connect the dots. Mexican authorities started following leads, and their cyber unit started picking up some information that pointed them towards Campeche, which, just like in the first case, means that the missing kids are on the other side of the country. So police in Campeche checked out an address connected to the case, but when they got there, the sisters were already gone. Eventually, after almost a full week of searching, authorities finally got a tip from a family member that tied them to a massive inner-city bus terminal in Mexico City, and that's where they found both girls. And they were with a man who had allegedly been talking to them online. And based on where they were and what they were doing, it looked like the three of them were about to get onto another bus and keep traveling. Thankfully, though, the girls were taken into protective custody, given medical attention, and eventually reunited with their parents. But the authorities said based on everything they gathered, it seemed like the girls had left voluntarily, which doesn't necessarily mean they understood what they were actually getting into here, or that they weren't being manipulated. And reports suggest that whoever contacted them started the conversation on Roblox, and then moved it over to other platforms like Discord or WhatsApp, which is apparently a pretty common pattern with this kind of thing. And Mexican authorities used this case to push for better parental monitoring of kids' online activity, recommending that parents turn off chat features when possible and keeping gaming devices in common areas instead of their...
They're not going to listen. They're not going to do it. We've been telling them for years. It's bad. Don't let your kids on it. Nobody ever listens. I literally saw a video of a guy talking to a girl over the internet. She was like probably 15, talking nasty, man. And her dad walked in, took the laptop away from her, talked to the dude, handed the laptop back while the dude was still talking. Like, holy shit, man. These parents are retarded.
Bedrooms and having real conversations with their kids about the dangers of sharing personal information online with strangers. But I mean, stuff like this just hits home. I was absolutely raised on the internet. My English is as good and bad as it is at the same time because I was raised on the internet. I was raised in a small town in Norway. I moved there from the States when I was 7, And to put it lightly, Norwegian winters are very cold and very dark, you know, because you just don't have too much time with the sun up north during the winters, but then you have the opposite during the summers. So it all balances out, I guess. But Norway was fairly early to give the population access to affordable high-speed internet. So I spent a lot of time playing video games, especially in the winters growing up. And I've met some of my best friends online. Literally, people who were once complete strangers, I met questing in the same area on World of Warcraft or on a Counter-Strike Source server. I even have a close friend who I randomly encountered while playing Arma 2 Wasteland. Like literally just over like voice comms. He was close to me and we started joking around, and then we were like, hey, let's get into TeamSpeak. And then we just started talking from there, and we still talk to this day. And way later, I met
TeamSpeak. I'm going to be setting up a TeamSpeak pretty soon. I'm going to be trying out to see how TeamSpeak works. I want to see if I want to use that instead of like a Discord community, because I heard that it's kind of better if you can get used to it.
So many of these people in person, and thankfully they were kids my age, at least at the time that we met. And you know, now we're old. We were young once, but now I can't really say I'm old. You know, I'm in my late 20s. I'm 28, but I feel like a lot of people in my generation can relate.
Bro, you're gonna start going bald soon. You wear hats all the time. That's how it starts, man.
To, you know, being a teenager and talking to people you don't know in person online. So maybe there's some survivor bias here, but obviously I don't know the answers. I'm still trying to figure out this big massive lesson that we call life. But I don't think it's that good to try to isolate your child in the attempt of protecting them, because I would think one of the best things you can do to protect your child is to invest your time in them, where you actually focus on hearing them out, and you know, you make sure that it's a safe space for guidance and mentorship. Because if you have a great relationship with your kid, there's a higher chance that they'll actually talk to you about what's going on in their life, who they're trying to meet up with, who they're talking to, and what their plans are. But it's tricky, because I guess you just have to balance on the fine line between wanting your kid to be as social as possible with others through their passions and them not getting trafficked across the country. Good luck, all my parents out there. We just have to try our best. Because one thing I thought of now that I feel like we kind of scathed, at least the people in my generation. The younger kids now have to start worrying about this. Because in like 2012, when I was using Ventrilo, TeamSpeak, and Skype, I could hear the people I was talking to, and I could hear that they were somewhat around.
Dude, I've got PTSD from the days that we were using Skype playing Minecraft. Ugh. I don't want to go back to those days. I'm glad Discord became a thing, and I'm glad I'm getting away from it, because there's just better options now.
My age, because, you know, we were just a bunch of squeakers back then. Now, in theory, you could have some sicko use AI to appear on camera as a kid. The future is definitely going to be one massive landmine. But moving on to the third case. This one stands apart from the others, as it still, unfortunately, does not have a resolution. And because of that, it's especially important to focus on this point. Because on the same day the sisters disappeared in Mexico on January 9th, a 15-year-old kid named Thomas Medlin left Stony Brook School on Long Island around 3:30 in the afternoon. But instead of heading home like usual, people saw him running towards the Stony Brook train station, and he apparently caught a train to Manhattan. Surveillance cameras caught him at Grand Central Station a couple hours later, around 5:30 in the evening. And through video footage and cell phone data, police were able to trace Thomas's path through the city, and they determined that his last known location was on the pedestrian walkway of the Manhattan Bridge at around 7:09 that night. And the Manhattan Bridge connects Lower Manhattan to Brooklyn and crosses over the East River. But at 7:09, 3 minutes after he was spotted on the bridge, Thomas's phone went dark. And then at 7:10, a surveillance camera near the bridge recorded what looked to be a splash of water. But according to police, Thomas was never seen walking on that bridge through any of the pedestrian exits. So Thomas's mom, Eva Yan, told reporters that she believed her son had gone into the city to meet someone he connected with through Roblox. Though she also said this was completely unlike him and that he's never just up and left like that before. His dad also said the same thing, that he couldn't understand why Thomas would do something like this. But the family organized search parties, checked homeless shelters.
I can tell you, the internet, pretty good at brainwashing kids. People know how to do it. They're sharing around ways to do it. Ways to brainwash kids. Ways to get kids to do things with blackmail too. Things they don't want to do because they don't want things to come out about them, and like they don't want things to be shared to everybody that they know. And they prove that they have contact information because they know how to get it. Everything exists on the internet, man.
Reached out to anyone who might have any information.
A lot of times they get that information out of the children themselves. And that's how 764 operates.
especially as the brutal winter weather started hitting New York. Because obviously the Northeast has been hit with back-to-back blizzards since then. But then, police released an update that changed the whole story. After getting court orders and search warrants for Thomas's social media, gaming profiles, and electronic devices, investigators did a full forensic examination of everything, and according to Suffolk County Police Department, they found no evidence that any online platform, including Roblox, was connected to the disappearance. Also stating there was no indication of criminal activity, and that the police said they've been keeping Thomas's family informed on their findings and that they were continuing to work with other law enforcement agencies to try to bring some kind of closure. And as a part of that effort, they also shared Thomas's physical description in hope that it would help someone recognize him. So, he's 15 years old, from St. James, Long Island, New York. He's about 5'4", roughly 130 pounds, and wears glasses. He was last seen wearing a black jacket with red stripes, dark sweatpants with white stripes, and carrying a black backpack. So if anyone watching this has any information about Thomas, no matter how small it may seem, please reach out to authorities through Suffolk County's Police Force Squad detectives at 631-854-8452, or obviously call 911. Roblox itself did actually release official statements regarding both Thomas Cartwright's case and the Thomas Medlin one. And while wording differs, the overall approach is similar. In Thomas's case, Roblox released a detailed statement saying they were deeply concerned and that their thoughts are with him and his family. According to the company, they immediately launched an internal review, searched for any prior law enforcement inquiries, and reached out to authorities to offer support. After reviewing the account, they stated they found no attempts to move communication off the platform, no sharing of personal contact information, no unusual chat activity beyond normal in-game conversations, and no indication that voice chat had been used. And as everyone probably already knows, Roblox is an enormous platform. It has—
Was it Reddit? Was it Reddit? Is there any evidence that he was using Reddit? Because Reddit will pull you onto all kinds of crazy platforms that you can't get information from, like Signal, Telegram.
Well over 100
places. Like they will work with the government to expose you, but people who know how to not get exposed know how to not get exposed, you know.
1,000 active users worldwide. However, a huge amount of them, roughly 56% of them, are under the age of 18. It does have safety systems in game, but the underlying issue is as long as the platform allows open communication between users, there's always going to be some level of risk. And in many cases, those interactions don't just stay on one game itself, as they can easily move off the platform. My understanding here, though, is Roblox is unfortunately just a platform here. It's not the game's fault. So it's kind of like if Roblox magically shut down tomorrow, the predators would just move on to any other platform. The positive here is that Thomas Cartwright was found safe, and Sabrina and Mary were also located, and it's normal for
you gotta— the only way to really combat this is you gotta be paying attention to your kids, man. You gotta not let them be on these platforms talking to strangers. You never heard of stranger danger? Well, we need to bring that back for online.
Investigations like this to continue. So, as authorities still need time to review all the circumstances and rule out any additional concerns. So again, if you have any information related to any of these three cases, please consider reaching out directly to the appropriate authorities. For the Thomas Cartwright case,
I actually know multiple people that bad stuff happened because of— actually, it was Roblox literally every time. Like, there was a girl met up with a guy, she was 16, and the dude was like 30. And was pretending that he was 16. It was this whole big deal in my small town.
you can share tips right here. For the Sabrina and Mary case, anyone with relevant information can contact local authorities only in Mexico by calling 911, which connects directly to the police services in the area where the case took place. And for Thomas Medlin, if you have any information, please contact the Suffolk County Police Force Squad detectives at 631-854-8452, or obviously call 911 if you need to. Currently, there's so much misinformation about that last case, like AI images like this one, which honestly is just heartbreaking to see people willingly spread fake information about a missing kid for what, internet engagement? But the most recent—
I think a lot of it is people that aren't in the United States, so they don't really give a shit. They don't really have the same culture. They don't really have the same morals. And they know that they can just drive clicks and make money. Unfortunately, I think a lot of them are in the United States, but I think most of them aren't. Most of the accounts who do shit like that, and it's usually like a really fucked up criminal organization. It's not even really just one person, and they have all kinds of bot farms that do this.
post for the family was posted by Chris Hansen, where you can see it here. But other than that, again, all the contact information is in the description down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Yeah, man, just need to watch your kids better. I don't know what else to say. Be better. Don't let your kids online. Internet is bad. Use discernment. Probably watch your kids. Don't let your kids do anything on the internet that you're not allowing them to do, and know what you're allowing them to do. Don't just be like, oh, this seems good, and then just walk away. You can't do that. Like at my house, they'd be watching Jimmy Neutron and like Fairly Odd Parents and stuff. They ain't allowed to watch anything new or anything outside that from old Nickelodeon. Not even allowed to watch Drake and Josh iCarly, because that shit's weird. Damn, that's so far away. I'm blind, I can't see. Well, these get me every time. I don't know what this is, but it says, oh my fucking god.
I don't even know.
Oh, this is a clip. Mystery clip. I wonder what it is. I don't know what it is. You do, because there was a thumbnail on this.
I don't even know what to say. It's so embarrassing. Oh my fucking god. Okay, ask Bernie Sanders if he has a message for Gavin Newsom regarding criticism of the billionaires tax.
Before we get started, last time I was supposed to give you a Japanese Communist Party pin that I got in Japan, and I still forgot to bring it today. So I'm instead going to give you, do you know what this is? So I'm instead going to give you, do you know what this is?
Nope.
An evil eye.
Nope.
Which means like, you know, I'm having a hard time taking this off.
All right, well, you give it to me later.
Okay, all right.
That's one of the most autistic things that I've ever seen. I kind of almost feel bad for Hassan.
Just for context, he only had 5 minutes to interview him.
Okay,
I don't want to use up the whole 5 minutes here getting your pin
You know
off,
what? You're right. So there is one person, the governor of California, that is actually.
He's actually so stupid. Wasn't he making it a big deal that Bernie Sanders wouldn't talk to him? And then he wastes part of his time? Probably because he doesn't have anything to say to Bernie Sanders.
Quite critical of the billionaires tax. Do you have a message for Gavin Newsom?
No, he does what he does. He and I disagree on the issue. That's about it.
Okay. All right.
Agitator Andy trying to give him voodoo fucking things, can't get it out of his pocket. And he's like, all right, let's just move on. And now he's trying to start some shit between him and Gavin Newsom. The reason, by the way, the reason why Gavin Newsom doesn't want to do it, if it's not a nationwide thing, they'll just leave California and then he'll lose even more tax revenue. Duh.
Fine. I am a little bit more critical than you are, I guess, at least.
So you're not as nice a guy as him. That's about it.
That's true. That's true. Exactly.
You can actually pinpoint this.
Isn't this supposed to be an interview, not an opinion exchange or a debate? He's giving his own opinions. I thought this was an interview. Bernie Sanders supposed to be giving his opinions. Is this not? This isn't a podcast. You're wasting your interview time by talking so much, dude.
Second, when his heart rips in half.
Jesus.
So you're not as nice a guy as him.
Embarrassing.
That's about
That's
it.
true. That's true. Exactly. I was supposed to give you a Japanese Communist Party pin that I got.
Japanese Communist Party pin. And you know, like, it's going through his head.
Yeah, I'm sure Bernie Sanders is gonna love that. He's gonna wear that pin everywhere. He's definitely gonna keep it. He's not gonna throw it away. Not at all.
Oh, fuck. Oh, God. It's not a good look. Yeah. Ah, Jesus.
In Japan, and I still forgot to bring it today. So I'm instead going to give you. Do you know what this is?
Nope.
I'm having a hard time taking this off.
All right. Well, you give it to me later.
Okay. All right.
It's so
You know
pathetic.
what I should try to do? I should try to get an interview with Bernie Sanders. If I could find a way to get an interview with Bernie Sanders, man, that would be fucking hilarious.
Fucking God, I hate the left. I hate liberalism. I hate everything that's going on every single day of the goddamn week. I hate my life. I hate streaming. I hate socialism. I hate every single person who thinks that the peak of activism is just being the most annoying.
Absolute cinema. What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck. What the fuck?
So I saw this crazy.
Oh, it's a Tectone video. It's a Tectone video called What the Fuck. So what the fuck?
So I saw this crazy ass caption on Twitter a couple days. It took me actually a couple days to actually get around to talking about this. But I did kind of want to look into this a little bit more with all you guys. A trans man in Canada, Alice Michael Atwood, who stabbed his
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
stabbed his 7-year-old son and 8-year-old daughter, severing the girl's throat and leaving her on a tube, and is still free under Canada's catch and release system, traveling in a van with Every Child Matters on it. What the fuck? Atwood was arrested, but then
Dude, that is beyond dystopian. Truth is stranger than fiction. What the hell, man? You can't write a fucked up sci-fi book that's as fucked up as real life sometimes. That is absolutely insane villain bullshit. That's like beyond Altered Carbon.
released until their next court date. An 8-year-old child whose esophagus was severed in the attack faces several months on a feeding tube. Brother, just put him on a guillotine, and what the fuck are we doing? Why are we wasting government money? Why are we wasting time? These people, once you commit atrocities like this, you're not going to get better. They're a danger to the
To be fair, it's in Canada, so they're wasting their own shit. But still, like, holy shit, that's insane. But Canada, what are you doing?
world. Hang them. Am I crazy here? Atwood's social media platforms, including Discord and Facebook, have had posts mentioning the attack since their arrest. I stabbed the hoe in her shoulder, yes, but Jesus Christ. We'll read this right after.
Good morning.
Wait. So, like, they were able to, like, go free, literally go free, and go on social media and talk shit about the whole thing? And nothing happened? What the fuck? I'm gonna restate. Canada, what the fuck are you doing?
It's your favorite hobo you love to hate. I just wanted to do a check-in, let people know that I am being safe, I'm being secure. I have taken care of my needs, and I am just chilling until I actually go for my sentencing.
So this guy
Chilling right after all of this happened. Like, this literally just happened. Gets let out and goes on social media and talks about this shit. What?
brutally stabs a 7 and 8-year-old child, and they let him go until it's time to sentence them. In what world is this required? In what world is this the proper thing to do?
In Canada, that's the world. They're in a different world. They're not living in reality.
Canada's justice system is a fucking joke. And it's crazy how the older I get, the things that my grandpa used to yell about on the news are just still true till today. The world's justice
It's just getting worse. Everything's getting worse. Nothing's getting fixed, and it's getting worse.
system is a fucking joke. It's every trial is a fucking coin flip. The dealing with of criminals it's embarrassing. Anybody with common sense should know that this guy should be put in the middle of the street, stripped naked, whipped, taken razor blades, and covered his body in kerosene and let him on while hanging in front.
I don't think we have to do all that. I think a simple upside down crucifixion will do.
Of everybody. You cannot have innocent to the guilty, because that is a punishment to the innocent. These people, these very easily demonstrably evil human beings, should be examples that we as people use to show them what happens when you do horrific shit like this. The fact that he was let go, is hanging in a van, puts more children in danger while he's smiling, laughing, and singing about it.
Well, we all know how the people in power feel about children, so the kids didn't die, so they don't care. They can live to be eaten another day.
If Disney were to make this guy a supervillain, people would say it's unrealistic for anyone to be this evil, and they would rewrite the character to be more believable. This is a walking, talking human piece of shit. And he's allowed to walk free because there's so many countries that are ruled by weak people. They are. And let's be real. Canada, their government is run by a lot of weak people. There's a reason why we don't want to adopt Canada into the United States.
To be fair, I don't think they're actually run by people. I think they're run by demons.
Because if we do, we will never have another Republican president ever again. We just won't. Okay? We just won't. Canada is somehow more blue than California. And I'm sorry, I don't believe in this whole everyone should be allowed to do whatever the fuck they want to do type shit. Fuck that. Okay? There's rules for a reason. And
we start letting people do whatever they want. People are real fucking degenerate. And they get real fucking degenerate real quick when you start letting them do whatever they want. It gets crazy. The most evil, vile things that you could think of happen.
Abide by those. And we should punish those doing wrong.
Like, you ever seen Lord of the Flies, Red Lord of the Flies? I got it back there on this shelf behind me. Shit's crazy. That's what happens whenever you just kind of have ultimate freedom.
And not saying, oh, it's okay, we'll give him a second chance. I hate that I even have to watch this piece of shit. Let's keep going here.
And, yeah, I did kind of realize that we do have a highly unique opportunity here, whereas I'm someone who did something heinous, and I'm on social media. Whereas pretty much all the other people who do something heinous get locked in a box.
As they should. And to be honest, I don't think that's enough. I absolutely support and encourage the death penalty. Abso-fucking-lutely. And I believe the death penalty on how you get killed should...
Yep, it says it in the Bible, so I'm cool with it, as long as it's justified. Tie a rock around their ankle, throw them in the ocean.
Vary on how horrific the incident or horrific the crime that you committed. And to stab 2 7 and 8-year-old little girls, one of the worst things you can do. And if I was Canadian right now, I would be horrified that our judicial system...
Honestly, they probably don't even know. The government probably isn't allowing the media, or the media, government, whatever, same thing, isn't allowing anybody to see what's actually happening.
Was allowing someone like this to walk the streets free. I would be horrified.
And blocked out from society, and they don't get to talk to them.
Oh no.
So, like...
On my torches.
Does it put me at risk? I'm already at risk.
That's a totally normal person laugh. That's how a normal person laughs.
We just let the modern day Joker walk free?
That's worse than the Joker.
Why are we being so understanding and caring to psychotic pieces of shit like this? Surprise, surprise. Another trans person stabbed somebody. I'm surprised it wasn't a gun this time. We need to monitor these fucking people. And when they do this shit, fucking kill them.
True.
Don't waste government dollars. Don't waste government funding. Don't waste cell space. You put somebody in a cell if they have an ability to atone and get better. You don't waste prison space on a person, a fucking freak, that has stabbed little girls. Absolutely not.
So whatever, I guess. Yeah, sure it does, but also,
And I guarantee you this hasn't gotten any mainstream media coverage.
Nope.
I would be shocked.
I haven't seen it anywhere. I wonder why that is. That's absolutely insane to me. It's just like, oh, I don't know, man. I'm so sick of this shit. Media is just constantly doing and not doing the things that we keep saying is happening. Everything's just exactly terrible.
If anybody sent me mainstream media coverage of this fucking psychopath, because people have been sweeping for these fuckers for forever. Why are we protecting child murderers?
Because they love it.
I'm going to do everything in my part to not hurt anyone else in society. For sure. Like, no else in society.
Oh, don't worry, guys. They're going to try to not stab any more children. Oh, okay, great.
For sure.
Yep, I'm sure that that's going to work out well.
Like, nope, I'm good. That was a horrible.
Well, I got my fill in on stabbing kids. Yep, okay, won't be doing that anymore. Sweet. I'm just gonna be a normal human being now. That should not be happening. That's fucking insane.
Error. And,
Guys, I really messed up. It was a horrible whoopsie that I killed 2 fucking children with a knife. The fact that they're allowed to go on the internet and make a joke out of this is a
Are the
whoopsie,
kids dead?
guys.
I don't think so.
I made a fucky wucky.
Doesn't matter. I think the charge should be just as extreme. Like, your life is gone. No more of you.
Holy shit.
Bad decision that I made, and I shouldn't have ever done it. I never will do it again, and if I could...
Doesn't matter. You
Swearsy realsies.
already did it once. Too bad. Hang this fucking dude.
Rewrite history and make it so I didn't do it, I would. But that's not going to happen.
Do people look at this guy and think, yeah, he's sound in mind? Yeah, no, he's got his head on straight. You know what? Let's give him another chance. You know, maybe those little girls...
Oh, I feel so bad for him because he had such a hard life and he's got mental health issues. We need to do what we can to help him. I fucking hate this culture that we're in these days. I'm so done with it. I think everybody's done with it at this point. Even the people who are into it, they're just like, I'm so tired of fighting for this. It's not worth it.
Ask for it. Fucking crazy.
So I definitely have to answer for it, and we just have to, I guess, deal with it. So what do you think?
Oh, I guess I just gotta deal with the punishment of my own actions. Holy shit. Ask me, what do you think? Like this is Dora the Explorer. Do you think I should go to prison for killing 2 girls? No. I must be in Canada. Holy shit.
What should we do with this opportunity? Because since we're connecting. Anyway, that's it.
Yeah, here's what I think you should do. I think you should fucking kill yourself. Save the world some space from a piece of shit human being. That's what I think you should do. Let's read another direct quote. I stabbed a hole in her shoulder, yes, but held it shut until EMS arrived. Yeah, I stabbed her, but I didn't slash her like that at all.
I stabbed her, but I tried to not let her die. So I'm good. I'm a hero, actually.
I was trying to remain optimistic given my situation. That doesn't mean I haven't been remorseful. It sucks and I'm sorry. Oh my God. Oh, they'll get therapy. Jesus Christ. March 13th. We're having to wait a month. This freak gets to walk free for a month after stabbing 2 little girls. That is
Guaranteed gets like 5 years. What do you want to bet?
fucking crazy. What a joke the world is.
People are freaking out now.
You see Obama?
I wonder what people are freaking out about now. That's what this title says. People are freaking out.
You see Obama and Trump all but confirming aliens exist? No, I didn't see.
All but confirming. Every single time. It's all but confirming. Aliens ain't real. They don't exist. It's a false flag. They're tricking you.
This.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them. And
How about that?
they're
How
not being
convenient.
kept in, what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility.
We knew that.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens?
That was it. And so then obviously
Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
So aliens are real.
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you.
I don't know if they're real or not, and he's smiling.
He gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. Well, he made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it.
I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. I think there's a chance that there's aliens.
He didn't deny
we
it.
went from the Epstein files to the X files real quick.
I don't think they're exactly aliens. I think they're probably beings that have been here the entire time, and they're probably demonic in nature.
The president can declassify anything that he wants to, so
Well,
if you
maybe I'll
want to
get him
make
out
an
of trouble.
announcement.
I may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
We know illegal aliens are real.
Yeah, illegal. Only illegals. What else? Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
He is declassified. He's going after the illegal aliens in Mexico and the illegal aliens from space.
Aliens, will they confirm aliens?
That's my president.
Ooh. Ooh, it's starting to go up a little bit, right? Now, like, would I put money on this one? Let's say Trump gets exposed for something really bad, then maybe he'll bring up aliens, right? But he's probably saving it for that situation.
Wait a moment.
Based on the tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other relevant departments and agencies to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to alien and extraterrestrial
How about
life,
that?
unidentified aerial phenomena UAP, and unidentified flying objects.
We're going to war with Iran, aren't we?
UFOs, and any and all other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America.
And Obama was trolling? Sure he was. And Trump was trolling. They're all trolling. You want to know, like, my opinion on aliens? Statistically, how big is the universe? It's really big. So, like, what do you think the probability is that there's aliens? Like, I think that's like 99.999%. Now, have we seen them? Have we seen aliens? I think that they have probably discerned at least that there is something that they have a high probability that they think was, made by intelligent design. That's what I think it could be.
What? Okay. I didn't expect that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think aliens are real, but I do believe in demons, and I think that's just as crazy to think that demons are real as aliens. If you think aliens are real, you're fucking crazy. You think demons are real, you're fucking crazy. And I think demons are real. And I think aliens are actually demons. Oh.
Well, the numbers don't.
So Caleb Hammer was on Fox News. That's crazy. A bunch of people that I like keep going on Fox News. Tim Pool was on Fox News again the other day. I'm like, yeah, I like that energy. There was a few other people that I like ended up on Fox News. I don't like Fox News. But yeah, that's a thing. Let's check it out.
Well, the numbers don't lie. Americans are spending beyond their means.
They kind of lie. The numbers kind of lie. But it is true, though.
Credit card debt just hit another record, $1.28 trillion, and more people expect to be worse off a year from now. It's why voices like Caleb Hammer are standing out. He has amassed millions of views online cleaning up financial messes. Watch.
You're acting like freshly new job, first 16-year-old job ever, got my little card from work, spending. I feel like you never matured past 14. I don't like making payments on this. That's what a child says. I am angry. Actually angry.
And he joins us now, the host of Financial Audit on YouTube, Caleb Hammer.
That fucking mustache, though, dude. He be styling.
Caleb, good to see you. You don't look angry yet. Maybe we'll change that by the end of this segment. But let me start with you, sir, on credit card debt, okay? We hit another record. I know this is kind of the bread and butter stuff for you. Are you really nervous about America's credit situation on the plastic?
It's bad. It's bad. And our consumer-driven...
It's real bad. The people are fucking retarded. They don't know what they're doing, and it keeps getting worse, and they're not going to try and fix it.
Culture right now, it doesn't matter what the job market looks like. When people are getting laid off on our show, it doesn't matter. People will continue their spending. People will continue their spending no matter what in our consumer.
It's not pre-watched. I just know that people will always go the retarded route. They always do the retarded thing.
Driven culture. I mean, right
and it's
now,
getting worse.
It's not just credit card debt as well. It's bringing in buy now, pay later. 26% of people that use credit cards regularly and hold those debts are now getting into buy now, pay later as well. It's.
I saw, who was it that I saw say this? It might have been somebody on X said that OnlyFans was allowing Klarna payments, but that's not true or something. Might have been Asmongold I seen say that.
Only going to get worse. It's headed in the wrong direction, unfortunately.
Caleb, there's someone on my panel, though, who once told me that debt is as American as apple pie. We just got to embrace it because eventually we'll grow, our wages will pick up, and we'll grow our way out of.
Honestly, I'd like to take Sam Hyde's route, cred maxing. Look up cred maxing. He explained it on PKA.
Our debt crisis, whether it's the country or, in your case, more poignantly, the credit card crisis. What do you say to people who say that?
Me. Yeah, I mean, it is a part of our culture, right? I mean, like I said, we are very consumer driven, and I love my credit cards, but I use it properly. And 50% of Americans do not. 50% of Americans have a revolving balance month to month. That's when that average interest rate in our country of about 20% is breaking down on that monthly basis and accruing, driving people into worse and worse credit card debt. That's not building their households. In fact, 88% of Americans headed into 2026 said that they are financially stressed about their households. They're struggling. 50% of Americans think they're going to die.
Yeah, and then you look at their finances and it's like, oh, streaming service. Streaming service, streaming service, streaming service. Okay. McDonald's, 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 Starbucks.
With that. Yeah, national debt, it's there. We can't really manage it very well, obviously, but this is a household problem. People are not willing to stop no matter what the economic situation of the United States looks like. It doesn't matter to get the things they want. On our show, people think and say that it's because of an emergency. Oh, it's because I had to pay this bill. But then I go into people's spendings, and I know it's anecdotal because we're just looking at the people we're filming with, but even still, these are average Americans, and it's going to McDonald's. It's going on a trip.
McDonald's.
It's going on things that doesn't matter, things we call BS on our show. And that's what they are willing to just put on their credit cards to make sure they're happy and living the things that they feel they're entitled to, a part of our culture. So you're right. It is American, but it's bad.
Caleb, this is Marcus. I'm always entertained by the way you speak to people, but what frustrates me about the way you speak to people is I want financial literacy to be the backbone of things. And I would imagine that financial literacy is what you think they're missing. Is it the lack of financial literacy, or is it the issuance of credit by the credit card companies and the banks that is ultimately the culprit? Who's the culprit in your mind?
It's going to come down to the user in the end. I mean, we practice personal responsibility.
Yeah, ain't nothing gonna get better until people start fixing themselves, man. These systems only exist to leech. They don't build themselves and then get you in it. You know, I mean, they kind of do. I mean, they got to get you in it. But the only reason that they build themselves is because they fucking work. Stop letting it work.
On our show, I was someone who had 3, 4 maxed out credit cards when I was in college. McDonald's, piano, you name it.
And a big problem is people know it's bad. They know what they're doing is bad, and they know what they should be doing in order to fix everything. They just won't fucking stop. They won't fix it.
It was my responsibility for getting into that debt. It was my responsibility getting myself out of that debt in my early adulthood and making more money and being responsible and learning a budget, especially in today's culture where we have access to more resources than any time in human history. GPT,
there's
Grok,
no excuse.
You name it. Claude, you can search anything. You can read any financial book. You can watch any podcast like Financial Audit, and you can get your life together. Credit cards, it's a product. I understand why they're making that product, and we can make certain regulations around that product. But in the end, it is still someone going out, choosing to apply for that credit card, and then choosing how to use them. I don't expect everyone to be perfect at 18, 19, even up to 25, but once you're in that adulthood and you're not using the educational resources that we have, it's your fault.
I appreciate you acknowledging learning, though.
Jackie.
Caleb, I'm just wondering if you think that social media has anything to contribute here, because what I've seen, and we've always consumed and put debt on our credit cards. We've seen that over time in this country. But culturally speaking, with the rise of technology and Instagram and seeing what your neighbor has and seeing what that person has and the trip that they went on, I mean, people will kill themselves trying to take a selfie off the side of a cliff because they want people to see that. How much of this sort of consumption is and culture and psychological aspect is being driven by social media and contributing to what we're seeing?
Oh, we see it on our show every day. If you remember the Labubu, the Labubu thing that was sweeping the world just a couple months ago, we had guests every single week that were maxing out.
The amount of dudes that I know that pay for OnlyFans is, dude, it's so fucking pathetic to pay for stuff like OnlyFans and like Labubus. I see them in the same category. You're just wasting your money on basically addictions, on like feel-good drugs that are chemicals created in your body because people have figured out how to trick people into activating their chemicals in their bodies. And they make money off of it.
Out credit cards just to get the next Labubu because it's posted everywhere online. And now we're not in the era of Beanie Baby trends lasting for years. We're in the micro trend where things get replaced every single month and people just have to be a part of the next thing. You don't want to miss it. And it's a huge part of our culture. But that's why.
How long did NFTs last? They didn't last long at all, man. Like, legit. I think people were on board for maybe a month. They were talked about for like 6 months. They were super popular. And yeah, it just went away. A bunch of people lost a bunch of money. Nobody ever talked about it again. You don't hear about NFTs anymore, and it was everywhere for a long time.
That's why I am happy that many states around the country, now more than half the states, have a personal finance class that is required to graduate from grade school. So hopefully we're fighting back on that end as well.
Okay,
Buckle up here.
Caleb, Mr. Debt and Apple Pie might have a question for you here. Larry Kudlow himself.
Well, I think what you just said is very good. I mean, any education regarding personal finance is a very good thing, and I don't doubt that a lot of people mismanage their credit cards. I don't doubt it. But I will say this. Household wealth in this country through the end of last year is $180 trillion. $180 trillion, okay? That's everything. Stocks, bonds, homes, cash, blah, blah, blah. And, less liabilities, less credit card debt. So your number 1.28 trillion, I think that was the number of credit card debt.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, but 180 trillion is bigger than that. Actually, I have to go a step further because I do believe debt is as American as apple pie. The country was founded on debt. Alexander Hamilton, God bless him. I just spoke to him a few weeks ago. But the point is we have debt in public, federal debt in public hands, which is about $30 trillion, okay? And that's even bigger than this 1.28 trillion.
Right.
But again, compared to 180 trillion of household wealth, it's a debt equity ratio that any company would be proud of.
That's right.
And the other one, 1.28 trillion. I mean, it wouldn't show up on the. You'd have to go from.
What the fuck is it? What is the point of this guy? Shut the fuck up. I'm here for Caleb Hammer. I'm not here for you. Who cares what you have to say?
Logs to indexes anyway. I just don't, it's not a catastrophe, okay? And we're living in a very prosperous times. And, people, if you produce, you create income, consumers spend their income. But the education part, I'm going to give you a lot of credit, Caleb. The education part is really important. And I think that is missing from the story.
All right, Caleb, we'll give you the last word on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I do agree. We live.
I think the education part is not what's missing. I think it's good education is what's missing, because I see a lot of educational streamers and podcasters, but a lot of them are old information or just straight up misinformation, disinformation, a bunch of assholes that are using people to get ahead, like Andrew Tate.
In a very prosperous country, and a lot of people are lucky. I'm not freaking out on credit card debts in terms of collapsing the U.S. economy. I don't want to bring it to that level. That's not what I'm trying to say. But from a household to household concern, where people are maxed out, where 50% are carrying those balances month over month at a 20% interest rate, people can't afford emergencies with that. Half the country says they can't afford an emergency if it pops up of $1,000. The majority of Americans are feeling uncomfortable headed into this year about personal finances.
They should find a local church. Then you don't really got to worry about any of that anymore.
And credit cards are bad. Card debt can be good. Credit cards can be used right. We love mortgages. I'm assuming everyone on the panel loves a good mortgage. I'm not complaining about debt in general. I use it myself. But irresponsible credit card usage is bad for the household.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that's a key point.
Okay, we found agreement between the guy who helps people fight debt and Mr. Apple Pie and debt himself. That's an amazing thing. Caleb Hammer, that was so fun to hear from you. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you again soon, I hope.
And
yeah, I kind of hope that they bring on more people like Caleb Hammer. I hope more stuff like that happens. That would be awesome. That'd be great for everybody. I think that'd be great for the world if we got less actual, what the left wing actually calls chuds, the people who actually are chuds. And not just, people like me. I want the people they say are chuds to go on there. And the real chuds to be, swept to the side. Let's not talk about those guys anymore. Like Tucker Carlson, who else? Candace Owens. I don't like any of those people. Yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna end tonight's stream. It's been real fun. I had a lot of stuff lined up that I just couldn't take care of. Maybe we'll get to some of it tomorrow. I'm gonna delete some of it because I decided not to react to it. But yeah, the time is up. It has been 2 hours. That's about how long I do this show. 2 hours, at least for now. We'll see. If it starts getting more popular, then I will go for longer, possibly. And I'm going to be playing different games. But tomorrow night, which is probably going to be every Saturday, is the game night where I do both streams as one long stream, and it's just a game. And tomorrow night, I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3. I'm probably going to end Act 1 or Chapter 1 or whatever the fuck it's called. I'm gonna go into the next chapter, and then I'm gonna play something else. I don't know. Maybe I'll do like a retro week where I only play retro games. Maybe I'll do it for a couple of weeks while I wait for Resident Evil 9 to kind of sit and make sure that it's actually good and it's worth me paying a whole bunch of money for, because if not, I'll wait until it's on sale. Anyway, don't forget to like the hit button and donate to me. That'd be awesome. It goes straight to the Folly Farm. I will see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye!